Hi everyone and welcome to the second module. Our review is over and we're going to be moving on to new material. So we're going to start off by talking about structures. And the first thing I'd like to say is Chapter 7 in the textbook covers classes first and structures second. I like to cover structures first because structures are similar to classes but they're a little bit easier. Structures is a place where you can group together related information and it doesn't have to have the same data type. In classes, you can group together related information, but in addition to having data, you add functions to it as well. So structures are a little easier. That's where we're going to start. You'll notice when we get into the lecture material, we'll be working towards the end of Chapter 7. Okay, so let's just talk about the new module. This is the video you're watching now. As always, we have our module at a glance, and this talks a little bit about Chapter 7, and you can read through the learning outcomes, right, what you'll learn in this module, and there's always a link to the course schedule. In the second module of everybody's online courses at NCCC, they put the e-learning student survey. It's really easy to fill out. I would ask you to take a couple minutes to do that to help us gather data and improve the e-learning or the online courses at NCCC. All right, now this will be the format of most of our modules. So there'll be lectures and activities. I'm just going to go in here. I need to get you into my programming lab, so these instructions at the very beginning, if you use my programming lab last semester, will help you get into, it'll use your same code, but it'll allow you to get into our course section and out of your CPS 120 course section. If you took CPS 120 before last fall, you have to come over here to the course information documents, and inside of there is a document titled Textbook and Other Required Course Materials, and you can follow those instructions. If you have any questions at all on the book or the My Programming Lab, please send me an email as soon as possible. Some of the videos that we might find through here are videos out of the textbook, and occasionally, if that's the case, you may need to be logged on to My Programming Lab before you are able to watch them, so you just might want to keep that in mind. All right. As you scroll down here, you'll see sample programs are attached to some of these videos, and here are the instructions on how to run the sample programs. You just have to be sure that you have a project created in Visual Studio, and then here you can right-click and you can save the file. Easiest to just save it wherever your project is, and then you can add that existing item into the project. But you can watch this video if you have any questions. Right, so you need to work your way through. You'll see that we're starting in Chapter 7, Section 12 is where structures are. So you can go through here. There's some videos, and at the end there's some checkpoint questions that you should complete and check your answers. Okay, next we have the assignment. There's a two-part assignment. The first part is out of the textbook. So you'll just answer the review questions and exercises at the end of Chapter 7, and you only have to answer the ones that are listed here, not all of them. These are only the ones that relate to structures. The day after this is due, a solution file will be posted. It is your responsibility to open up the solution file and check the correct answers to make sure that you did everything right. Doing this and reviewing your answers will help you to study for the quiz. In addition, there's a My Programming Lab assignment. So you can come over here, click on My Programming Lab, log in, and complete those questions that are in Chapter 7, Section 12. They should be the only questions that you are able to see at this point in time. Okay. We have a discussion question. since it is really the first Blackboard discussion, there's a couple documents in here that you should review, and then you can move right into the discussion. In this case, I'm asking you to think of a use for a structure, and then you have to put a brief description and actually define your structure using C++. You are required to post, and in addition, you are required to respond to another student. And you can read through the discussion instructions. Then we have a project, and there's 2 videos to watch, so please watch those, and then that will bring us into the project. I'm going to talk a little bit about the project here. You're going to create a structure named movie info, and this is the information that's going to be contained in it. You'll have to declare 2 variables of this type. Write a function to enter the information for one movie title, and then it should return that back to main. And you call that function twice, one for each of these movie variables. Now, start off small. Don't try and write everything all at once. Declare your structure. You write your function that will allow you to get the information from one movie, and then maybe just write a little bit of code to display the information stored in that structure. Make sure that part works, right? Then you can go back and you can start modifying the program a little at a time. All right, so here's where the user is going to enter the information. I have a note here. After you read the number of stars, you have to use cn.get, and that's to get the end of line character out before you get to your next input statement. Okay. Write a function, display a list of movie recommendations, and it tells you what it should contain, and it's only for movies with 4 or more stars, so you need an if statement, right? If there's 4 or more stars, then you can display the information. But again, take it a little step at a time. Get little pieces of it running. All right, please read this part on documentation. You have to have your name at the top and a brief explanation of the program at the top in your comments. And then you should have a comment prior to each function definition explaining the purpose of the function. Okay, so that's just a little bit more in depth about the project. I'm going to come over here and choose our course calendar. And you can see the discussion post is due here and the assignment. The discussion response is due here. And the project is due here. In addition, we'll be having a quiz on structures. It'll be open 2 days. You could pick any 1-hour time frame within those 2 days to take the quiz, but it has to be submitted by the 7th at 11:59 p.m. The quiz, probably later on next week, I will post a quiz review document, a practice quiz, and some other information to help you prepare for the quiz. So when I do post that information, I will also post an announcement telling you that it is available. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. The project's going to take a little bit of work and a little bit of time, so be sure you give yourself, start a couple days early so you have the ability to ask me questions if you need to.